everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we are really excited today. We are talking about Hallmark movies and what we are going to be seeing in the month of May. Going to be a lot of fun. And today I have special guests with me. We have Hannah and Katie from When Kiss Meets Forever podcast. They've been on our show a number of times. And thank you so much, ladies, for coming on the podcast.
Hello. Thanks for having us back.
Yes.
We're always happy to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we haven't talked since Christmas. But so how has your 2022 been going?
It's been adventurous, to say the least. As I don't know, some of you might know, if you listen to When Kiss Means Forever, I moved away from New York. Hannah and I were famously New York kids, but I am now a Clevelandite.
Oh.
Clevelander? I don't know what we call ourselves here. So, but so thank God for the internet and things like this, so we can continue to podcast and do things with you and others.
Yeah. How are you liking the Midwest?
It has winter lasts a long time here, so I'm excited. Spring is sort of starting to nudge in a little bit, so happy about that.
Although last time I went to New York in March. It was so cold.
Yeah,
Yes.
our weather over here in New York is let's go with temperamental.
Yeah,
True.
It was
This year,
brutal.
I have gone from like winter jacket to t-shirt back to winter jacket. It's insane.
Yeah, layers are a necessity.
I remember having to do coat check through May, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
New York is the same.
Yeah.
It just feels more here because of that lake stuff. So.
Oh yeah, because I served mission for my church in Indiana, so it was right nearby there, pretty close. And yeah, that lake effect.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It's brutal. But Hannah, how have you been?
I have been pretty good. I just got a new day job, so I am, life changes all around over here at When Kiss Means Forever.
What you doing?
Nothing super exciting,
Yeah.
I'm an administrative assistant, but just, more money for nicer people.
There you go.
Living the dream.
So, goals.
That's good. Have you been able to see any shows?
I'm going like once a week or more. Last week I saw 3 shows.
Oh,
I'm like,
gosh,
exhausted.
your life.
I've been really jealous of Hannah's Instagram, just like staring at afar.
Yeah. Well, I keep like it's sort of like by accident where I'll like see like, oh, there's a free show and I could get tickets if I do this, and I just do it, and then they're like, okay, here are your free tickets, and I'm like, oh right, now I have to go to this thing.
Yeah.
So like this past week it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Tuesday and Wednesday I didn't pay for.
Wow, that's great. Yeah,
Everything's coming up, Hannah.
I just did here in Utah, did my second professional theater review for a theater called the West Valley Performing Arts Center, and
Nice.
I reviewed their take on Little Women. And so that was really fun. I mean, I really do like that Broadway musical.
Yeah,
and they did a great job. And but I know the feeling a little bit because I got the tickets for free, and when I got up to the day, I was kind of I'm tired.
Right. You get like, oh right, I have to like because also that is one of the, I don't even know if it's spoken. I don't know that like it's just something I feel like I've known forever. But if the tickets are free, you are going and you're sitting through the whole thing. End of story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so, but whenever I feel that like feeling, I'm always glad that when I go, like there's never been I can't think of a single instance where I've been like, why did I waste my time with that?
That is always good.
It's like I learned my lesson. Fight laziness.
Yeah. I think, with, the pandemic and everything, I got into doing multiple things in one week is just like, it feels hard.
It does.
And then to almost go from 0 to 100 in terms of like,
Mm-hmm.
one thing a week, maybe, or nothing,
Yeah.
to 3 to 4 things a week. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Everything in moderation,
Yeah.
including your
know.
schedule.
I know, but it was unintentional.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's kind of hard to get back into the swing of things a little bit, but you have to push yourself to do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
really
but
do.
it was definitely a like, oh, this is the only day that I can get this for this price or no
Right.
price.
So
I guess I'm going this day.
out of all those shows, do you have a favorite recent one?
Um,
That was your
I guess my 2 favorites that I've seen recently. I really loved this production of Take Me Out. I thought
Okay, I
was
saw that.
really good. And I loved A Strange Loop. I think
Oh.
it's so
Mhm.
cool. And so like interesting and different in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I saw Take Me Out when I on my trip. Um, it's definitely not Hallmark friendly.
no, it is not. It is not Hallmark friendly at all.
No.
The
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of like just straight on like full
Oh,
minutes
well,
of
yeah.
full
A
frontal
lot of shower
is
going on there. But
Sounds like I need to take a trip to New York.
yeah, right. Uh, but my favorite was the Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah.
oh, that I saw that pre-pandemic. So
Hmm.
that one yeah, it's a really fun production.
Yeah, they
Though
did a really good
I'm not
job.
sure who's in it now
I can't
cuz
remember their names, but they did a great job. And
yeah,
I had
yeah,
never
cuz
gone to off Broadway before.
oh really?
So that was really fun. It's a
Yeah.
little more intimate of an experience.
Yeah, so when I saw Little Shop, it was Jonathan Groff in the lead.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and then I knew
Which is
Jeremy
great,
Jordan did
except
it.
he famously, uh, is a bit of a spit singer,
Oh, no.
and I was in the front row, and it's a small theater.
Yeah,
Splash zone.
It was a little like, "Oh my god, no."
it makes sense. That's funny. Yeah, I remember hearing that actually about him and Hamilton that
Yeah. Like, he's famously like, it's a little gross if you're too close.
Yeah.
All you have to do is watch the Hamilton on Disney Plus and just, like, watch him, and it's like, "Are you wearing lip balm? No,
Yeah,
that's just your spit."
yeah.
But it's fun to watch
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, not that this is a Broadway podcast, but we don't have that many movies to preview, so I figured we'll just have fun.
Sure.
Yay!
How have you felt this Hallmark 2022 has been in general? Do you feel like it's been strong or not so strong? What do you think? What do you think, Katie?
Honestly, I feel like to the front of my brain, if the curve is Just One Kiss, then this has been great. Like, because I thought Just One Kiss was probably one of the better Hallmark movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But the rest of them so far, on honestly, kind of boring to me.
Yeah.
I've just been a little bit like, I don't know. When it comes to live tweeting, I'm sort of half watching and getting the gist. I'm hoping that this may proves a little bit different, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. What do you think,
I
Hannah?
I have to completely agree, like, yeah, they're just other than Just One Kiss, because I think Just One Kiss is fantastic, and I loved it. Um, but yeah, I'm just sorta like I don't even feel like they're bad, they're just dull.
Yeah.
I'm not excited by them even while watching.
And there've been a couple where there's been, like, shouting at the screen, like, "Why would you make that choice?" Like like, "What is happening? Why aren't you communicating?" has seemed to be the arc, and not even in a way that, Hannah and I always make fun of, or that's the point of our podcast is to sort of scream, cry, yell, laugh, love, and hate these movies. But it almost seems like most of our tweeting has been, "You are terrible at communicating, and we could fix this movie right now," kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. It's
Like,
never
really
good.
manufactured.
It's never good when you feel like a 5-minute conversation would solve all the conflict of the film.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what was
Yeah.
so good about Just One Kiss is that they had like real conflict that
Mhm.
they didn't
They
like.
had real conflict, but also I felt like they were understanding about things like, "Oh, you didn't magically appear in this world of
Mhm.
my life without baggage."
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it was yeah, I mean, that was a great line when he says, like, "Dating people is complicated, you just pop into each other's lives and feel."
Right,
Yeah,
like, I
Yeah.
I I think that's what I loved the most about that movie. It was
so
just like, of course, Broadway people, I was always gonna love it
Of
yeah.
because it was
course.
just all there, but, um,
Santino for
I
life.
Oh,
I like, it was genuinely well written, and they
mhm,
felt like real people.
yeah,
Yeah, and just to kind of go on that train, just 1 second, like, for a second, I feel like a lot of Hallmark movies really have to, like, create bonkers stuff out of nothing, or
mhm,
there's, like, "We here's the plot, here are the antics, here's the, like, waka, waka, waka," like, all these things
right,
are happening, the party planning, etcetera. But when you have something like Just One Kiss where ultimately, if you break down the action of this movie, I guess there's not a lot of action, but it was interesting to watch because you're really learning about these two people who are interesting in their own right. There were
mhm,
complicated, like, marital situations and
yeah,
like divorce and sobriety and, and artistry and et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's enough. And if you have a good writer,
yeah,
romance blossoms just from those things. You don't need to plan a party. You don't need to, like, save the ranch all the time.
mhm. Yeah, that was
So,
my problem with the Wedding Veil movies is I thought the plots were so boring. I enjoyed the time when they were together, the 3 of them, when in any of the movies. I thought that was fun, but, like, I don't know, it's just like, couldn't they have thought of something more interesting for them to do than, like, her planning the benefit in the first one? The second one was, I don't know, like, a lot of
in
research
Italy.
and I don't know,
Yeah.
the
I
third one
mean,
was my favorite, which surprised me. I didn't think it would be, but I don't know, it's just underwhelmed.
I
Fair.
think that's fair. Yeah, I think the second one was my favorite, but I also it sort of fits in with, like, I think they were doing the least
Mhm.
in that regard. But, I
They're just,
I
like,
don't
in love
know.
with Italy this
Yeah.
season. Yeah, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
all you
they
have to do is show me Italy and I'm fine, like, whatever.
well, it was very specifically Autumn Reeser is in love with Italy.
yeah, true.
I'm done with all of these Italian food, Italian-based things, like, I think we even said it on our Twitter, like, I need to stop craving pasta and desserts, like, when watching these movies, and it seems like the majority of the movies this year have been like, "Have your food, chocolate, wine at the ready because that's what you're gonna see for 2 hours,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "No,
It's like, "Can
I've
we get
got a
some"
wedding to get fit
right.
for."
Like, "Can we see some Chinese food just to shake things up a little bit?" Right.
That'd be okay. I'd be
Yeah.
okay to, like, add dumplings into the mix or
Right.
something. We need more, like, Asian American stories anyway, so get that in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I was personally pretty disappointed with, the Second Chance of Love and the Love Unclassified or
I
Classified.
liked Love Classified. I thought Love Classified was a different kind of love story, and I'm not even just talking about the addition of lesbians, and I'm very happy about that with Hallmark, thank
Yeah.
God. But I liked that it was sort of like the Love Actually of Hallmark, where we got a lot of different people, and it was kind of a different plot formula, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you're right about the Second Chance one, that
yeah,
was
that
just
was
boring.
it was so frustrating because they had an incredible cast,
Yeah.
and I just didn't like any of the characters. I didn't care. It felt very I don't know, like, it felt soap opera, but not in a fun soap opera way, in a,
Mhm.
like, I don't know, just dragging, to me, and I I just didn't like any of the characters, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes feel like Hallmark feels like if they're going to tell a diverse story, they have to make it a drama, right? I would have
Yeah.
I get
loved
you
for that
there.
cast to have been a light, fun, bubbly rom-com, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was just it was a downer.
Yeah, I was upset by that one.
Yeah, it was a
Like,
bummer.
I was just I kind of felt like we have not established these characters with boundaries, and I feel like they're all messing with their own lives. And like this was another one where I was like, you just need to be better at communicating.
Yeah.
And like I'm frustrated by how bad you are at it, just
Yeah.
because like I don't even think you need therapy for this. I think you know what you need to do.
Well, it's always hard in a romance when you feel like these people should not be together at all. Like they don't even
Yes.
like each other, let alone love.
Right.
And I especially felt that about the younger couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They didn't seem on the same page at all. I was like,
At
they're not
all.
picking up on each other's hints. Like they're on different planets.
Yeah. And my problem with Love Classified is that, first of all, I felt like it was not the movie that I was sold. So I was going in hoping for like a light, bubbly rom com, and then it was
Gotcha.
like kind of family drama. So that was
Fair.
disappointing. But then also, I just thought Catherine McNamara's character was really irritating to me. I mean, she was just nonsensical, and it's fine if she's an unlikable character. Or a flawed character. I like that, but she breaks up with her girlfriend because her girlfriend is treating her mother as a doctor. That
And
makes
somehow she was supposed to know that.
that
You
makes
know?
no
Like-
sense. Like that's ridiculous.
Also, and like part of it, they were like, wouldn't you pick up on the last name? Their last name is Bloom.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it's not
frankly,
Smith, but it's very close.
I frankly didn't understand why the doctor, I forget her name, but I don't understand why she was interested in this woman.
Frankie.
Why would you be interested in except for, like attractiveness? She's a beautiful woman.
Pretty and blonde.
Aside from that, why would you be interested in somebody who's going to dump you because you're doing your job? Like,
I mean, it sort of was also on this level of like, the one thing I will say about that, like, all show me all the lesbian romances. I'm happy for that to be on
Mhm.
Hallmark Channel. I didn't really need the like, I'm gonna turn this straight woman aspect.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Like,
that you wouldn't be, not that you would be surprised, but I would think that his reaction was just kind of like, okay. Like,
yeah,
I would be like, oh, cool. I don't know. I just felt like his reaction was probably not what most people would have. But I don't know. I just didn't love it, and I was really wanting to love it, but oh well. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the
It had the
diversity is
potential.
great, but I think that I just didn't like her
well,
character. I don't know.
honestly, the one romance that I felt most connected to, I saw the least of, which was the brother and the
Yeah.
shop
Oh
girl.
yeah. I agree.
I needed to know everything about her because, like, the first time you see her, she's walking around with like a book saying something about love and lust or something like that. And I was like, you're my best friend. You're flaunting your romance novel to the world. I need your story so
Yeah.
much.
Right.
So,
Like she was
Equal.
clearly the coolest character. And I
absolutely.
didn't get enough of her.
But Hallmark needs to watch Single All the Way from Netflix last year and know that they can make films with LGBTQ leads that are light, fun, bubbly rom-coms. It does not have to be a drama. It can be a fun rom-com.
Absolutely. And there is absolutely, I mean, if from our lips to Hallmark's ears, there is a need for it. Like, how many people were tweeting along with us for Love Classified that are part of the LGBTQ community that are like, yay, finally my representation. I have a lot of friends who would love to have love Hallmark movies, and they would
Yeah.
love to have their stories told on Hallmark all the time. Like, there is a need and there is a market. So like, get it done, man.
I agree.
For sure.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
We've stalled long enough. We're going to be previewing the movies for May, and looking forward to it. I forget what they even are calling this season. I don't even remember.
I want to say they're like classifying it like either as just like nothing.
Yeah, I don't think they.
You know, like when you open the app that they have, it's all under like bonus originals for May. So like
heating up for summer. I don't know.
like so it really feels like it's nothing.
Yeah. All right. Well, our first movie is called Warming Up to You, and this is on the 7th of May, Hallmark Channel. It's got Cindy Busby, Christopher Russell, Caitlin Stryker, who we've had all three of them on our podcast. So we, fan of the cast. This is director Christopher Will Wolf, who has directed all of these people multiple times, and it has 4 writers for this movie, which is kind of intense. Pamela Rice, W. Stewart, Stephen Kent, and Christy Wolf all credited as writing. So there's a lot of hands in the kitchen this time, but it's Kate Wolf is a fitness instructor who leaves Los Angeles to take a job at her best friend's wellness retreat. To her surprise, A-list actor Rick Steele is assigned by the studio to train with her for his new feature film. Not only does the duo make a breakthrough athletically, but they also equally break through some personal walls and find an unexpected friendship that is put at risk when Rick's co-star is also sent to train with Kate. So, what do you think, Hannah, about that one?
Okay. So, based on the summary, I don't think I would have this reaction, but I have seen enough of the promos now that this movie is making me really worried. The biggest thing for me is Christopher Russell's, I don't know if we're calling it a fat suit or like a belly. I don't know.
I'm calling it his Thor belly.
It's really uncomfortable, and I'm really upset that they put it in, and it's so like obviously like a pillow under his shirt, but like there's something it just rubs me the wrong way in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So like I mean, not that I won't watch it, because of course I will, but also I'm like incredibly apprehensive. And then the co-star angle, I feel like we're just adding too many elements. But hey, I don't write these movies, so I guess what do I know?
It took 4 writers.
I mean, I don't mind the co-star angle if it's Caitlin Stryker, because I always enjoy her in these movies. But I think that might add something interesting, because I feel like sometimes with these movies where it's just 2 people, if you don't have enough of a like interesting character backstory, and I don't know how the writers were writing this thing, obviously we're previewing, but it could just be boring having them talk about each other, having the moments of, in the past my heart did this, or my relationship with my parents is this, and this is why I am the way I am, and you understand me now that we've had this conversation. Like that can get a little bit old, so maybe having the co-star will add a little spice to our cooks in the kitchen, but who knows?
I don't know. I feel like she's moved, so we have that portion. We have him being an actor, which is that portion, and the workout and like changing body image. I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot happening before we even get to this other woman who, like, yeah, Caitlin Stryker is great, and I'm happy to see her in a movie. But also in the promo, it seems like Cindy Busby knows her. And how is that? Because then that's confusing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she's the reason she left LA.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Oh, like she
Yeah,
stole her boyfriend or something.
it's true. I mean, I did like the last team up of these of Cindy and Christopher and Christy with Chasing Waterfalls. That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But that may be one. This may be one retreat movie too many. I don't know.
Yeah, right. It like I don't know. I don't know if I've just seen so many of these. They all feel like they've already been done.
Because he also did the retreat movie with Amelia.
Right.
And Christopher's super super nice person. Cindy's been super nice to the podcast. We love them all, but yeah, that the fat suit does kind of worry me too. That it'll, I don't know, be
Wrong messages.
yeah. We need to have messages of
Yeah.
body diversity and acceptance, and but yeah. I mean, and I have to say again, I like Christopher as a person, but the Jen Lilly movie,
Oh, that was upsetting.
one of the worst ever.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
He didn't have anything to do in that movie. He was. It could have been done by a
That's fair.
cardboard
It
stand-up.
wasn't. That's true.
couldn't
It was
happen.
not his fault, but
No.
Oh no.
he.
Rarely is it their fault.
But she was one of the most selfish characters I've ever seen as a lead in a Hallmark movie. She was so self-centered about her friend's wedding, and just, and even in the end when she supposedly learned her lesson, it was still all about her.
Yeah, no,
It was
she
so
she
bad.
sucked.
Yeah,
The character.
She was so bad. But I don't know. This one I would probably give, if we will do, what should we do? Should we do
Flowers?
we could do Flowers. That was our spring
Yeah.
rating, but since this has
No.
this has no theme.
Should we do butterflies or bumblebees or something?
Bees. We can do bees. All right.
Okay.
So this is, out of 5, I would give it 2 bees.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hope
I'm with you too. 2 bumbles.
I hope it'll surprise like Chasing Waterfalls, because that was that was a good one.
At the end, maybe I'll have some workout tips. Maybe that'll be worth
Yeah, there
3
you go.
bumblebees.
Well, I always think it's better to go in with lower expectations.
That's true. All right.
Probably
Next
was.
we have Road Trip Romance. This is on the 14th, and it stars Natalie Hall and Corey Sevier. Director Samantha Wan, writers J.B. White and Steve N. White. And it's an escalating series of unfortunate events keep delaying a young woman's journey to her sister's wedding, a journey she is forced to take with the guy who was her biggest rival in high school. What do you think, Katie?
Okay. So I'm not usually a big fan of the, oh my gosh, travel is delayed in all possible ways. How could we get to location X? Usually that's not. But I am such a big fan of Natalie Hall.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's adorable, and I think she's like the perfect kind of person for these movies. And I did watch the promo, and there's a Renaissance fair involved. And so I feel like with the addition of Natalie Hall, and just her charm, and a Ren fair, this might be actually kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've seen this movie before. 2 people who have to take a road trip who maybe don't like each other, and obviously they're in love. Yay, done.
Yeah, it is a trope for sure, but it's one of my more liked tropes, I would say. I don't mind it usually, and I do think that Natalie Hall, she can lean into the comedy more than some of the other actresses. Like she's really good with the comedy, and
I agree.
yeah, and I think it will be funny. I hope so. I agree about the Renaissance Fair. I think that's a fun wrinkle.
Yeah. Of all of the May Hallmark Channel movies, I think this is the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Same.
Like if it's going to be incredibly formulaic, but there's so much you can do with it that it's sort of like, okay, I'm into it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like there's what's it? The one with with Brendan Elliott and Bonnie Somerville, where she's trying to get to her sister's wedding, but it's Christmas.
Yeah,
I can't
and
remember what
he
that's
lives
called.
in like a
Yeah, he lives in,
Christmas tree farm or something.
Christmas town. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's that one called? Oh, that'll bug me.
Whatever.
But anyway, it kind of reminded me of that. And then also it reminded me of the one with Rachel Lee Cook and
Yeah.
Grayson Holt.
That's the
Mhm.
one that I keep like being like, oh, it's that.
Yeah.
Almost like just going the other way because they're going from Colorado to
Wichita.
Kansas.
Yeah. But how
Right.
interesting is it that we're getting this in the summer? Because usually when we have those movies, it's like snow, obviously cannot travel, even like planes, trains, and automobiles. So I'm sort of wondering exactly why they're like, what's the holdup? And
Mhm.
I'm interested in that.
The one
Mhm.
with Brennan Elliott is "I Love You Like Christmas."
Yeah.
That's a fun
Cute.
one.
Right.
That's a fun one. But I feel like this has potential. It could be super boring, but I even actually liked the Road Trip Royal movie that we just had. Like it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah. It's cute enough.
It was cute enough. I just didn't believe they fell in love.
Yeah. No, I mean they didn't have the best chemistry, but the writing I thought was pretty good on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like the road trip.
Right. The road
Seeing
trip was fun.
sights.
I just didn't believe that these two people knew each other well enough to fall in love. I
Yeah.
just was like, okay.
Yeah, they didn't have the best chemistry, but I
No.
overall I was expecting to hate it and I ended up enjoying it. So again, secret
I'm with you
happiness in
there.
life, low expectations. So I would give this one out of 5. I'm gonna give it 3 Bs.
I think I'm gonna go 3.5.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go 4 Bs.
Yes. All right.
For the Ren Fair and Natalie Hall.
Good. Okay, so then we have Romance to the Rescue. And this is on Hallmark Channel on the 21st. This stars Andrew Brooks, Marcus Rosner, Nathan Whitty, director Heather Hawthorne Doyle, and writer Barbara Kimicka. It's Trevor, the new manager at the grocery store where Kira works, seems to check off all the boxes when it comes to what she's looking for in love. When her well-meaning coworker tells dog-loving Trevor that Kira has an agility-trained dog, she plays along. Trevor is excited for Kira to enter her dog in the upcoming agility contest the store is sponsoring, leaving her with a canine quandary. She must adopt a dog and get him competition ready stat. With the help of Mark, the head of the dog rescue, she may pull it off and learn some lessons of her own along the way. That's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on. My first question is I want to know what her boxes are because a manager of a grocery store checks all of your boxes. Like, I mean, he might be like the best guy in the world, but the thing he doesn't have is money, and I assume money is on this list.
Well, I just wonder, why does Trevor think that she has a dog? And that seems like a really specific thing to get wrong about somebody. A dog,
Right,
an agility trained dog. Like, not even just that you think she has a dog, but she doesn't have a dog. She has this really specific kind of dog.
And to what end? Why? Oh, I can only be with a girl who has an agility trained dog. Oh, man.
Yeah, and why is the grocery store having this dog competition? And again, not just a normal like dog competition. This is an agility contest.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the premise just is confusing, and
canine
like obviously
quandary.
you know where this is going. It's pretty obvious, but I don't know. Like
It's definitely a real canine quandary.
This is like Unleashing Mr. Darcy plus A Tale of Love, which was the newest Hallmark movie so far. It's like if you put those two movies together, you'd have this movie. And I feel like, I mean, I just watch Unleashing Mr. Darcy if I want to watch a dog contest, really.
But
Although
at
this
least that
does look
made
cute.
sense because
Yes.
they were all involved in the dog world. This is I'm just curious to know, why he thinks that she has this dog. And
Interested to
No,
find
so
out.
then and she plays along.
who
Why wouldn't you
knows?
just say, nope, I don't have that kind of dog?
Your information
Well-
is incorrect, sir. I don't have it.
Well, also just it's this thing that I've never quite understood about, like, I think I should lie about something fundamental to life to attract the guy that I like,
Yeah.
who if they actually, like, if this were to work out, like, he'll figure it, like, he'll learn that that's a lie.
Yeah.
It's such
Isn't
a
it nice
weird
to be in our 30s where we don't have to worry about this stuff anymore?
it just seems like a terrible, terrible plan. I feel like
it's a rocky way to start a relationship.
That being
Lies and
said,
deception.
I'm really excited for Andrea Brooks to be the lead in one of these, because I feel like she's never the lead on Hallmark.
Yeah,
It's
she's
true.
done a couple Up movies
Yeah,
this
right.
year.
She's done other ones, but, like, I'm excited
Yeah.
for her on Hallmark. I think she's adorable.
Yeah,
And,
we
like,
love Andrea. She's so great. And Marcus is. We've actually interviewed all three of these as well. They're really nice people, and I think it could still definitely be fun. I mean, the dog's usually really adorable, and if they have chemistry, I
mean,
feel
the
like they
dog
will.
in the promo is pretty cute.
So
Mhm.
cute.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I'm kind of in that, like, what's the worst? Like, spending 2 hours watching a movie where I get to look at a cute dog do tricks, like, not the worst use of my time.
Katie,
If you step away at the right times, it's just the puppy bowl.
Right.
It's fine.
which I have no idea why they got rid of that, the kitten bowl, because you're just like that. What could that possibly cost? Like $0?
No,
Like
it was also to, like,
nothing?
promote adoption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like oh, we gotta cut the kitten bowl. I mean, this is the thing I have to say is that just because you're changing a lot of things doesn't mean you have to change everything.
True.
There was no reason to get rid of Bubbly Sesh. There was no reason,
No.
like, I mean,
Agreed.
I just feel like they're
Even
throwing a
Home
lot
and
of
Family
babies
has a
out with
time
the
and place,
bathwater right now at Hallmark Channel, and we don't need to get rid of every mystery show, which seems to be the case, and we don't need to get rid of the kitten bowl.
Yeah, no, there's some choices where I'm confused. Somewhere
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm on board for this.
Yeah.
And
Bring
somewhere
back
I'm like,
Bubbly
huh.
Sesh.
Yeah, exactly. We'd like to take a second from this episode of the podcast to celebrate our sponsor of this episode, and that is the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast?
Do you want an inside scoop into what happens on the podcast?
Do you want early access to episodes and loads of cool perks?
Now is the time to become a patron of Hallmarkies podcast.
By becoming a patron, you get to access our patron Facebook group.
You can request episodes or even be a guest on the podcast.
And most importantly, any patron can join our monthly movie watch-alongs with stars like Paul Campbell, Natalie Hall, and more.
It's as low as $2 a month to join in and become a special part of the Hallmarkies family.
Please consider, and we will love you forever.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Katie, what would you give this one? How many B's?
I'm going to give it 3 Bs.
Yeah,
3.5
too.
maybe.
Me too.
Yeah,
What about you,
3.
Hannah?
3 Bs.
3.
I think that's where.
All right. Next, we have Heart of the Matter, and this is on the 15th, and it stars Amy Teagarden, Gail O'Grady, Andrew Zakhar, Chandler Massey, and this is on Movies and Mysteries. This is director Mark Jean, who's done a lot of Signed, Sealed, Delivered. Writer Karen Struck, and it's Andy is a cardiologist who is devastated by the accidental death of a patient. As she and his grieving mother overcome their sorrow through forgiveness, they learn that acceptance leads to hope. So we've got a drama here. What do you think, Hannah?
Okay. So while looking this up a little bit. So first of all, Karen Struck wrote one of my favorite Hallmark dramas ever,
Mhm.
It's like the only one that gets me to cry like every single time, which is Second Chances.
Oh.
So I'm like I'm like, okay, so I know you can do it. That being said, the poster of Amy Teagarden and Gail O'Grady with a surgical light like a halo behind their heads is really off-putting to me. And so I just don't know. I'm I don't really know how like the love story is gonna fit in here. I feel like based on the promo,
Oh,
Andy
yeah, that
is
poster
gonna
is rough. Oh, no. I
Yeah,
hadn't seen it before.
it's really bad, and I'm like, "Oh," I mean, if they weren't going for a halo, they
It
messed up.
it looks like they're about to take, like, a quantum leap or something. Like
Yeah, but it's like it's very uncanny valley, but also like these are not angels. Like these are people.
Ghosts?
Well, I
What?
feel like Chandler Massey has got to be a ghost in this, right? Like
Something, man. It looks wow, that looks really bad. I mean
so like I just don't know.
I'm
Like I
excited to
want to give it the benefit of the doubt because of how much I love Second Chances, but I'm just really apprehensive.
I'm excited to have Gail O'Grady back because she's I think a really good actress and she hasn't been in Hallmark movies since Love on Ice. But I really love her All I Want for Christmas. That's one of my favorite classic Hallmark Christmas movies.
Mhm.
It's really good where she her son enters her she's enters her into this find a all I want for Christmas, your greatest Christmas wish, and her son enters her that she needs a husband. This wish.
Okay.
And and of course she has this next door neighbor played by Robert Mailhouse who is like almost unreasonably like loyal and dedicated and like she's friend zoned so hard. But I still really it's really cute. It's really fun.
Aw.
Uh, so then that goes way back to like 2007 was that one. But one of my
Wow,
favorite
classics.
classic Hallmark movies, and so I'm excited to have her back in the family. But boy, yeah, that poster. Ooh.
It's like I want to like take someone aside and be like, you did a bad.
I'm just excited about this title, and it's about a cardiologist. Like, I mean, like, if I was,
Yeah,
like, thinking of, like, pitches to Hallmark, I'd be like, "Okay, it's about a cardiologist, and this one is we're to call it Heart of the Matter." And I just really
yeah,
kind of appreciate sort of pun-ish or on-the-nose titles in this
yeah,
way. And I understand that this is, this is high drama, so it's not, like, cute pun here. Um,
yeah.
I am interested, like you guys were saying, in the love story. But one thing I'm kind of enjoying with some of these hallmarks is that the love story doesn't necessarily have to be the central focus,
Mhm.
and that you can tell different stories that are about love that aren't romantic. And Hallmark movies and mysteries is doing
Yeah.
a better job. That's sort of where those movies live. So I
Which
feel
I
like Love
think is
Classified should have been on that network, honestly.
well, see,
Yeah.
that
I
I
should
feel
have
like that's
agreed.
fine. My thing is that in the promo for Heart of the Matter, I don't believe Andrew Zakar shows up.
Mm,
Like he's just not in it.
mm. Well,
And it's
sure.
like so like it's not like it has to be like the main focus because I think the main focus should be like her figuring out that it's okay that she didn't do anything wrong if she, like this wasn't a negligent doctor death of some kind. I'm assuming. I'm assuming she's not that person.
Be a very
Uh,
different movie if it was.
um,
I mean, I just wish that with these dramas that they've been doing the last year and a half or so, I wish that they would make them either two-part or maybe even three-part series. because
Mhm.
I just think it's almost impossible to build up your characters and have uh, enough character growth for a drama to work
Mhm.
in basically 90 minutes. It's really
Yeah.
hard. And whereas like the thing about what makes it work about the rom-coms and even the mysteries, just because the mysteries are series, right? And
Right.
but with the rom-coms is you have these archetypes that we immediately know, okay, this character's the bad man in business, this character's the, whatever. And that helps you to just immediately get into the movie. You don't need a lot of kind of character growth really from our characters. And when you get it, it's kind of a bonus. It adds to it. But with with these dramas, I always feel like they're rushed and there's just not like One Summer was a pretty good movie, but it felt rushed to me. The
Fair.
Benedict Stone was a pretty good movie, but it felt rushed to me. And I think both of those would have been way better as 2-part series.
Fair. Yeah, I would have even been fine if they were like, we pick up next week. Like it being like, this is not really a series or in anything, that like we're just doing this movie in 2 parts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like we're stopping in the middle and we're telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I grew up with the classic Hallmark Hall of Fame Sunday dramas that you watched, and they
True.
seemed to get it done in 90 minutes. So I don't understand the issue necessarily of, because I agree with you. I think some of them feel rushed. I feel like I don't understand the character, but I did with those.
Yeah,
And I
that's
don't know if
true.
maybe my pace has changed or what, but I think it
have
can be done.
I have a hypothesis.
Ooh.
Because I feel like the newer ones are tackling more than romance drama.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why like if you're trying to do romance drama and you have 90 minutes, you can kind of do it. But if you're trying to do romance drama and family drama or like work drama, it's when you're like adding more stuff, then nothing feels done.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see how long some of those. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, like Loving Leah, that's a great Hall of Fame, and that's an hour and 35 minutes. So it's not
Yeah.
that much longer. If it is, maybe a hair longer than these, but not much. So, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. But I think that's the challenge is where you don't have that as much in the rom-coms do not require the same level of character development to be effective as the dramas, because you need to be
True.
invested in like what is happening to these people and the trauma that is happening and in order for it to 100% work. And I don't know. So
Maybe this one will be successful since
I hope
it
so.
seems like they're not getting into the romance so much, since the quote unquote romantic like partner of this doesn't appear in the promo or in the description.
Yeah,
So
you're right. It's not.
cheers to love between women and finding acceptance through hope or whatever it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah. So I will give this. I'm gonna give it 3 Bs. I probably would have given it 4 before I saw that poster.
I'm sorry to have brought that to your attention, but it like I need other people on this like, oh no, train with me.
That would be terrible. Hey, if it's a good movie, they should be upset.
Oh no. I'm
But-
gonna give it 2.5 Bs.
yeah.
I think I'm on the 2.5 Bs as well. I'm just
I get that.
Prove me wrong, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, but
Mhm. All right, last one is called Rip in Time, and this is on the 22nd. And Movies Mysteries, Tori DeVito and Niall Mater. And it is Sarah is an organic farmer who meets a man named Rip Van Winkle Jr., which is hilarious, who claims to be from 1787. Soon she discovers old-fashioned romantic feelings that might just be as crazy as his story. I don't know why Rip Van Winkle Jr. That makes me laugh.
So good.
oh my god, this movie looks bonkers bananas.
Yeah.
In the best
And
way.
so terrible. And I cannot wait.
So if you guys, I mean, if listeners of Hallmarkies probably know if you've listened to the episodes we've appeared on, and listeners of our podcast absolutely know that our favorite movies across any sort of like network, but our favorite movies are the ones that have a little bit of magical realism in them, and especially when it's like kind of impossible. You're like, how is this even a thing? I don't care. Give it to me. Like A Timeless Christmas is one of our favorite things, like ever.
Yeah, that was a
And so
fun
I'm
one.
really excited about this because like whoever came up with this idea, just wow and amazing and cool. And I love Niall Mater, and I feel like only Niall Mater could pull off this without it being completely ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like it makes me really happy. and we'll
wonder-
see. It could be terrible. It could be a romping fun time.
I mean, I don't have any hope for it to be good, but I'm so excited.
I wonder if they wrote the comet that Candace Cameron Bure wrote in
Oh, right. Oh, God. That movie. Also, like, sometimes
I mean,
the choices.
We had a train time travel in a.
Yep. We had a train. We had a clock. We had a comet.
Mm-hmm.
Any other time?
I mean, I guess in the Rip Van Winkle lore, he just falls asleep for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not. There is no time travel.
Which
He
sounds
just
amazing, by the way. I would love to fall asleep for like a good long time. Just wake up refreshed. Feels good.
Yeah, it's like fall asleep for 200 years. Oh my god.
I mean,
250 years.
it's gotta be a big like scary thing. Like
Yeah.
time travel, as fun as it is to imagine, I'm glad I don't have to do it because I think I would lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
Who's forcing time travel on us?
Yeah,
I love you.
I'm glad. I'm glad for that. I think I would be bad at it. But that being said, I am here for whatever happens in this movie. I'm like, I mean, just
I don't know.
I don't even know.
I'm ready to discover some old-fashioned romantic feelings. I think this could be fun.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Well, Katie, this is going to be for you because I feel like the past few live tweets we've done, we've managed to come up with some kind of like, oh no, they're alone together. They must be married now.
Well,
comment.
I'm hoping that he just thinks that everybody is witches. Everybody is a witch. Oh my gosh, magic is real. And then we'll come up with some fun things. And maybe old-fashioned like romantic feelings means like, ooh, the cut of his calf is very tempting or something like that.
I mean, 1787, he'd probably expect everyone to have British accents.
That is very possible. It hasn't like boiled down quite yet. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. There, I mean, I assume she's going to be wearing pants. That's going to be like a thing.
But why Junior? Like, so is this like a Van Winkle like hereditary thing where the people in the Van Winkle family just fall asleep for 200 years? I'd be afraid to go to bed. Be like, don't fall asleep.
But, okay, I know the lore of Rip Van Winkle, but when was he?
So
like,
Rip
Was
Van
about
Winkle,
the same time period. Washington Irving.
So, but it was first published. I'm seeing this on Wikipedia. First published in 1819. So this is actually.
But he was asleep for.
Yeah, I guess it was. Maybe he. Yeah, I think that he was asleep for like 100 years or something. I don't know.
I wanted to say. I feel like 200 years is because also like.
Oh no, it's only 20. He only sleeps for
really?
20. Yeah, he wakes 20 years later to a very changed world. He's missed
you would in 20 years.
It says he's missed the American Revolution, the modern day equivalent. Let's see. Let's see. First published in 1819, it follows a Dutch-American villager in colonial America named Rip Van Winkle, who meets mysterious Dutchmen, imbibes their liquor, and falls asleep in the Catskill Mountains. He wakes 20 years later to a very changed world, having missed the American Revolution.
Huh. So, according to that, there's nothing in him intrinsically that would make him sleep. It is the alcohol.
Yeah, it's alcohol. That's right.
which is why they named that bourbon after him, that Pappy Van Winkle.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of what was that called? Let me look it up. There was a Seth Rogen movie where he played a pickle guy, and
Oh,
yeah.
it was called some like
I never watched that.
yeah, I
But
didn't.
his cousin from the old country or something comes to New York or whatever.
Yeah, what was it called? Let me see. But anyway, it was called like an American Hero or something like that.
No, wasn't it called like An American Pickle?
Oh yeah, you're right. An American Pickle. American Pickle. But that was a comedy. This is a romantic drama, I guess. I mean, it's on Movies and Mysteries, so
So one of my favorite, speaking of Hallmark movies of the week, Hallmark Hall of Fame is The Love Letter, and I forced Anna and I to do this as an episode for my mom's birthday. Forced it, and it is kind of a love story between time. It's Jennifer Jason Leigh and Campbell Scott, and they write to each other. She is in Civil War era like America, and he is in current times, which at this point is like the late 90s. Which is amazing to watch. And so they write to each other, and they fall in love, and like these conflicting times, and then like there is a time travel element because he gets a concussion and like goes back in time somehow, which is amazing. So I'm hoping that this movie is in the same spirit as that movie, and if it is, I'm so on board.
yeah, me too.
Hannah hates me right now.
No. I didn't have the same reaction to that movie, but I also didn't watch it as a child. So, what
I haven't seen that one in a long, long time. It kind of reminds me of the Lake House, which is so bad.
So amazingly bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
But I love it.
Although there is a hilarious clip on YouTube of Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves trying to explain the plot of the Lake House. It's so funny.
The Lake House is one of those movies where I feel like it's worth watching because it comes up in conversation
so much
way more than it should.
So much. Literally, I'm doing a 30 Rock rewatch, and they like mention it at some point in like 30 Rock. It's like great.
It's true. Well, I'm going to be hopeful on this one. I do really like Nell Mater and Tori DeVito. So I'm going to
I feel like we don't see Tori DeVito enough.
I loved The Christmas Promise. It was so good. And I feel like I've liked all of her movies for Hallmark. But anyway, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I'm going to be optimistic. But it could be a
Good for you.
total disaster, this movie.
No, same 4.5 B's for me's.
Rip Van Winkle Jr.
I'm not quite there with you guys. I'm going with 3.5.
Oh.
But I'm excited. Of all the ones that we've talked about, I'm probably most excited to watch this one. And, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Like I will be probably just as happy if it's a disaster as if it's really good.
Oh, I agree. This one has like the most so bad it's good potential.
Yeah.
Of like just watching it and being like, what is happening?
that teetering on the knife's edge is what actually like fuels Hannah and I. If something is so bad it's good, that just gives us recharges the batteries. So give it.
So what do you give it, Katie?
Oh yeah, I'm at 4.5 B's for me.
All right.
I'm very excited about this.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for doing this. This was so much fun. I feel like we should just do this every so often because I just miss talking to you.
Yeah,
love it.
Course.
We love it.
Of course, we should always do that.
Yeah. Where can people find your live tweeting and also your podcast and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so we are One Kiss Means Forever. The podcast is on podcast platforms, all of them, pretty much.
Yeah, we'll put that all in the description.
And then we do live tweeting and Instagram and stuff. One Kiss Means Forever, and 1 and 4 are numbers in our name, on our handles.
Tag, whatever it is.
You are all so amazing with that live tweeting. We did that when we first started the podcast. I just couldn't keep it up. It was just too It was
You
too
know,
much.
I will have to say that if it weren't for the pandemic, I don't know if we would do it the way we do. I think we just, we were
Yeah.
all stuck at home with nothing else to do, so you might as well. And then now I'm kind of like, it's what I do on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. And my partner is in the service industry, so he usually waits tables or whatever on Saturday nights. So if I don't have anything else planned, what better way to spend it than on Twitter with my friends? Like, pretty great.
But you all should definitely check it out. Their live tweeting is super great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. And also make sure you are following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave both of our podcasts 5-star reviews. We sure would appreciate it. And if you are listening on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patron group, which is a lot of fun, and we are going to have Kathy Cloves, who wrote The Christmas Promise, and It Was Always You. She's going to be our next Q&A guest on the 30th. So now's the time to sign up for the Patreon, and you can participate in that, which is really fun because she's not on social media or anything. So this is your chance to get to talk to her and ask questions. And you also should check out the merch store. We have tons of fun Hallmark-inspired merch, and we appreciate that. Thanks again, ladies. This was a blast, and we'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.